PlayStation Drive is starting. While you wait, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon on YouTube to be notified of future goodness. If you enjoy our show, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. To continue the conversation, join the Carpool Gaming Discord, where you can find a wholesome community to have a chit-chat with. For some exclusive content, you can also support us on Patreon. And finally, don't forget to check out the Carpool Gaming website for an awesome range of merch. Links to all that and more are in the show notes, but without further ado, let's get revved up for the PlayStation Drive. Whoa! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PlayStation Drive. I am one of your koala hosts, Foolish Fuji, Fuya. How you doing, everybody? Hope you're all well. And joining me, as always, we have Matt, Ron in that corner, and for the first time this year, Seth from the Nintendo Drive.
Why Sage in the house?
That's right. Hi, everybody. I was just telling y'all before the show started, I bleed blue tonight, man. We're here talking about PlayStation. Hey, I rolled credits on Astrobot mere hours ago. You and Bowser both.
Wow.
A lot to talk about tonight.
Let's go.
Man, I'm slow on this. I feel like I'm savoring it more. And
that's fair.
I'm trying not to get sucked into it too much.
Why not? Go all in. What's the problem?
I would love to, but this koala body doesn't let me sit for many hours at a time.
Just marathon it. Go through the pain. It's going to be all right.
But that's all good. We'll jump into that soon. But before we do, we got a lot of housekeeping to get to. So let's jump into it. Housekeeping. First of all, we want to say a big thank you to everybody who has joined us at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. We've got some new patrons to also thank, so let's give them all a big shout out. Thank you to Casey Pratt and Hot Gamer Boy Summer for joining as a free member. Thank you to Solo for upgrading to Platinum Producer.
Yeah, Solo.
Thank you to TechMike for upgrading to Ultimate Producer.
Let's go.
Thank you to McBeal for joining the exclusive tier. Thank you to Jinsu3000 for sticking around at the exclusive tier after their free trial last week. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And a massive thank you to Brian Reese for his incredibly generous direct contribution to our Extra Life efforts. You can also do that too. If you'd like to throw a few bones our way, you can head over to patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. Or you can also jump over to the Twitch side of things, because it's also September. If you're over on Twitch, you get discounts on your subs, and we get all of the profits in full. So, benefits for everybody. Win-win. So, definitely do that. We've also got some really awesome people who have gifted subs over on our Twitch channel. Thank you to BobLoblaw for gifting 10 subs. Tim Paullin for gifting 5 subs. Tony Baker for gifting 5 subs. John32 for gifting 5 subs. And Rizzle2929 for also gifting 5 subs. Thank you, everybody,
generosity.
so much.
Fantastic support.
All of your love and support for us. We are really looking forward to getting out over to Extra Life at Rome, New York. I am 6 weeks away from flying out to New York City.
It's getting close.
I need to finalize things, man. I haven't done that yet. The rest of my trip after Extra Life has not been planned, so I've got some work to do.
You got to get started there.
Time's ticking, man. We're getting there.
Oh, man. But yes, thank you, everybody, for all of your amazing support and love for Carpool Gaming. We really do appreciate it. For those of you who are over on Patreon, Ryan is up next on his pants. His pants episode has dropped, so please go check it out.
Whoa.
And next up is Seth.
Sorry, the pants dropped thing.
The pants dropped.
That got me.
Pants episode
yes.
dropped. That's right.
That's right. Yeah, Ryan did drop his pants. I am up next. Yes, so get ready with those questions. I love doing that show, and I look forward to answering your questions. Yes, please.
Yes. Go and submit all of your questions when that post comes up for you over on the Patreon side of things. But, wow, that's a lot of housekeeping. I think we're done with the housekeeping. All right, let's jump into our playlist and see what everybody's been playing. We're going to start off with Ron, as usual. Ron, what have you been playing?
All right, Trails Through Daybreak, still moving through that. Got to Chapter 4. Still, feelings are the same. Still a fantastic game so far. I started Frog Detective just to have something different. My daughter did a surprise pop-up at the house. I couldn't play Trails Through Daybreak while she was here because I'm ahead of her. Didn't want to spoil it. So I was like, you know what? Frog Detective's like a 4-hour game. I'll sit there and start with that. That game is so ridiculously fun. The dialogue is silly. Is all I don't know what. And it's just great. It's just a great, just fun little game. I haven't finished it yet because I ended up getting into another game, which was Warhammer 40K Space Marine 1.
Oh, wow.
So, my friends, we were talking about doing Space Marine 2, and a friend was like, hey, try Space Marine 1. It's really good. I was like, all right, that's fine. I wasn't thinking I was going to get all into it because usually basic shooters aren't my thing. I was wrong. Space Marine 1 is everything that I need in a shooter. It's gritty. It's bloody. It's just... it's so visceral. It's fantastic. The mechanics are basic, but man, when you get to pop off somebody's melon from across the map with a sniper shot and you just see orc brains just black out, it's over. Yeah, when you pull out the chainsaw melee, when you're close combat, oh my god, stuff just sprays all over the place, and you're just whacking things, and parts are flying. It's just like, yeah, this game was made for me. That's a barbarians kind of game. So
you are getting Sean extremely hyped and excited.
I'm just saying, two separate tracks.
So I'm at chapter 8 in that one. I think there's like 16 or 17 chapters. Enjoying that. So I'm going to try to play that during the week, kind of side by side with Trails. But yeah, I was not expecting to get all into that one, but looking forward to that. It has me extremely hyped to get into Space Marine 2. Cannot wait to play that with my friends.
Nice.
Oh.
Sounds like you're having an epic time over there.
Back compat? Can you play it backwards
compatible? I think it's. It might be available on Xbox, but I'm playing it on Steam. So Steam had a sale. I think it was a sale on the humble deal, and got pretty cheap. So I went ahead and got it on there. Yeah,
love it.
Nice. Well, with that, Matt.
Yep, we're switched.
Yeah, I know.
It's throwing you off. Right? It's throwing you off.
Keeping us on our toes. Still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Future Redeemed expansion. It's meaty. It's quite meaty. It's taking me a bit of time, but I'm happy to say that I've dusted off the dust from my PS5 controller and PS5. It's been a while, friends. It's been a while since I fired up my PlayStation 5. But yeah, you know what? I'm very excited because I finally got to pick the next Backtrackers game. So for anybody who's new to Carpool Gaming, we have a little community-led video game club where we meet up usually about once a month, and we all play this nice indie gem, and then we meet up to talk about it. So the next game that we are playing is Crow for Country. So that's right. We are starting Spoopy season nice and early. I got to pick a nice Resident Evil-inspired indie game. So it's very short. It's around 5 hours. And, I had a choice. I could have picked it on my Xbox, but I'm like, you know what? I don't need to save $1. I'm going to get some trophies. So I did buy it on my PlayStation. Played about 40 minutes. It's got N64 PS1 graphics, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Kind of takes you back. Very survival horror like Resident Evil 2. What I wanted to share is I looked at the trophy list, and it was like a 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10. And I'm not even joking. I was already a bit nervous. I feel like my experience with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has really taken me down a notch in terms of what I am confident in terms of getting a platinum trophy. So I'm attempting to go for the platinum trophy in Crow Country, even though it's a 2 to 3 out of 10, which should be very, very easy. It's a little bit anxious in case I mess things up. So I am following a guide very meticulously. But yeah, it's quite a messes with my head. I'm not gonna lie. What Rebirth did to me in terms of the trophy experience.
trauma.
Get Rebirth out of your mind. Get Rebirth
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
of you.
Move
You know
on,
that's
honey.
a totally different beast.
He was wrong for you. Move on. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
Rebirth
hard.
has
Like,
scarred
yeah,
you. It's whoa.
yeah.
It really
It's
has.
gonna be
And funny enough, Brian S slid into my DMs. And by the way, you can always slide into my DMs, especially when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or any game. Doesn't matter.
Get in those
So he slid in my
DMs,
DMs. Yeah, get in there. And he was like, anyway, we're talking about Rebirth, and he's like, this game doesn't want to end. And I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. And then I was like, so what chapter are you at? And I didn't know where he was. And I don't know how much he listens to PlayStation Drive, but he sent me this long, massive message of the exact moment that Rebirth broke me. And he said, I'm at chapter 12. I'm at chapter 12, which is near the end, when the game says, oh, you're near the end, but here's more side quests for all the regions you completed. They're not complete anymore. Here's all these side quests and all the mini games you completed. No, here's all these levels. That part broke him the way it broke me. And I was like, yep, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, Rebirth has been quite the experience for me. But anyways,
Was he planning
really-
on trying to plat it?
I don't think he was trying to platinum it. I think he just really enjoyed the game, and he was just a completionist. I think he just liked doing
okay.
everything. And then he's like, "Yo, this game just slapped me in the face. Like I'm near the end, and now you just dump all this stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, it's quite egregious. It's just the way it's
Quite
done."
disrespectful.
So it's very disrespectful. I know, but anyways, if you're interested in spoopy games, check out Crow Country. You can join us for the Backtrackers, which is on September 21st. And try to get the Platinum Trophy alongside me. It's a 2 out of 10, which means it should be easy. Seth, have you played this? Have you played Crow Country before?
No, I want to. I've had it on my list for a little while. I've been kind of like hoping that it would come to Switch because that is the main place I play games. But if it doesn't come soon, I'm just gonna have to like bite the bullet and get it on PlayStation, I guess, because I do want to play it. Interesting thing about that game. Sorry, go ahead, Ron. What?
Play it on PlayStation. Did I hear you correctly?
I've played a lot of my PlayStation
Yes.
here lately, dude.
Got Matt blowing the dust off of his.
Look.
And Seth talking about he's going
might-
to play his.
You might need to change that title there after
I
a little
might.
while.
I might have to.
Go
Maybe
back
it's
to
the PlayStation Drive again after all.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right.
We're coming back. That's right.
We'll wait. We'll wait to see what Koala's up to.
Making a comeback. Yeah, but the interesting thing about that game that I find so funny, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Snipper Clips on the Switch, that launch title on the Switch.
Yes.
Same
Oh, yeah.
developers
So good.
that made Crow Country. Same developers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
that
No
doesn't seem
way.
right.
For real?
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. Like Snipper Clip is such a cute, cozy multiplayer game, and like Crow Country, like it's spoopy. Like
Yeah.
it's got really good sound design. Like I'm very impressed now. By the way, it's very
Yeah,
impressive.
good. It's like two brothers, I think. It's like a two-brother development team or something like that. Yeah.
That's
very
so
funny.
cool. All
Yeah.
right,
But I need to play it.
But
I
Seth-
want to play it.
tell us, Seth. Tell us that you bleed blue. What have you been playing?
I got kind of a lot to talk about because I have been playing my PlayStation primarily, really, over the past couple of weeks. So it was good timing for me to come on the show here tonight, especially with Ryan's absence this week. It was perfect timing. So got a lot to talk to y'all about. I guess I'll start because I know Fulia, I know you've all also been playing Astrobot, so we can tag team some Astrobot. But I guess I'll just kind of quickly talk a little bit about Star Wars Outlaws, which I've put like 30 hours into. We did get a copy from Ubisoft Canada, so thanks to them. Sean and I both got it from them, and we're both playing it. I did put it on the back burner to play Astrobot, but now that's once I wrap that up, I'm probably going to platinum Astrobot tomorrow, and then I'll go back to Star Wars. But yeah, man, it's I like it quite a lot for what it is. Ron, you're not gonna vibe with the story. The story is just kind of nothing.
Oh,
it's just
no.
kind of
Oh.
yeah. I know you were
hurts.
wondering about that. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, like Ron had asked me, like, like let me know like how you're kind of feeling about it and whatever. And yeah, the story doesn't do anything for me really. The story's just kind of fine. It is what it is. But the gameplay is super, super fun. The exploration is super, super fun. Like the realization of the Star Wars universe is so loving. Like it's so detailed. It's so like if you're a Star Wars fan and you've always wanted to just like live in that world, Like it is like just getting on my speeder bike and like driving into the horizon with the twin suns of Tatooine. It's like beautiful. Like it just gives me chills like playing the game like that. There are a couple of moments in like the story itself is not that good, but like there are moments in the story that are really good, you know? And like there was one moment, in fact, I think it was during Sean's tournament bracket last week where I was just kind of playing Star Wars off to the side, and there was like a chills moment in the story. So it does have its moments. It's not 10 out of 10 or anything like that. It's not KOTOR, you know what I mean? But it does have its moments, but it's not what you're playing the game for. You're there for the vibes. Like you're there to live in the Star Wars world, to do the stealth, to have Nix, your little alien buddy running around. You're sharing meals with him and stuff like that, and sending him off to take out dudes in the distance and distract them and stuff like that. And I don't know. I really like it. I don't think that it is going to be... I think the game's like at a 77 or something on Metacritic. To me, that's perfect. I'm like,
yeah, it's not bad.
That's it. Like that, to me, it's like 7, 8 out of 10. Like if I were to score it with a number, that's probably where I'd put it. I think it is a good game that is worth your time. I know it's the Ubisoft thing. A lot of people are like, I'll wait for a sale. I wouldn't blame anybody for doing that. But it's but I quite enjoy it for what it is, and it's kind of weird because I feel like the like online like narrative around the game is that it sucks and it's awful. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's far better than people give it credit for. But yeah, I don't know.
That seems to be the unfortunate thing with Ubisoft, though. It's like anything that Ubisoft does. Usually, there's a lot of hate that comes around it, despite if it's a good game or not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time. So, and it's the thing too, where like. Yeah, I understand that Ubisoft is kind of like they are a bit of a punching bag, and people are like, oh, well, it's just another one of those like open world Ubisoft games. I'm like, well, but if you like that kind of thing, then like, who cares? Like, it's just kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like, I like to just turn my brain off and do side quests and play Sabacc, the card game, and you know, I just unlocked like a thing where I can use magnetic dice to cheat in the game and rip people off. It rules. I'm like, it's that
true rogue style.
Wow.
Scoundrel. Yeah.
How is this not good enough? You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty good to me. I like it. So I don't know, man. I feel like people are a little too unfair to the game, and I think people made up their mind about the game before they played it. And then reviewers got so little time to play it too, and I think that factored into it as well. Yeah. A lot of people just kind of rushed through the story, because I saw people were saying like, yeah, I beat the game in like 12 hours. I'm like, bro, I'm like over 30 hours into this game, and I've only gone to 2 of the like 4 or 5 planets. So like, it's a long, if you want it to be a long game, it can be a long game. Or if you want to just like beeline it to the end, you can get through it pretty quick too. So yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's funny. I feel like there's not a lot of people being that positive about the game, but just give it a few years and people you're going to see the videos. Star Wars Outlaws is good, actually. You know, give it a few years. Let the hate die down a little bit. Wait for it to go on sale if you want to. That's fine. But I do think it's worth playing. It's good. I like it. So, yeah. And then Astrobot.
Nice.
Yeah, lots to talk about with Astrobot. I would... Yes. That's like the only other thing I've really been playing. So, Fulia, you should start us off with Astrobot.
Astrobot is freaking awesome. I absolutely love this game. It is so good. It is so much fun. I even went out of my way to get the Astrobot controller.
Let's
go. So cute. It's so shiny. Look at that. I am a little disappointed that these aren't LED lights, but hey, it probably would have sucked out a lot more
Your
of that
battery lasts 30 minutes.
I was going to say, the battery lasts way worse.
You don't want
the
that
battery
to be
never
LED.
lasts anyway.
No.
30 minutes it will get. That will be it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No.
I'm cool with it just being printed on the middle button. It's fine.
Yeah.
I love that it still has the same sort of like the vibration features and the speaker output that you get from everything from the game that comes through on the controller. I played a little bit with the speaker on, but then realized that I've had my headphones on this whole time that I've been playing it, so I decided I might as well just switch it off, because I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing anything, so I just switched it off. And now my funnily enough, it's actually lasting a little bit longer.
Yep, that'll do it.
There you
Go figure.
Turn that speaker off, yeah? That's a must.
Yeah. nothing apart from the aesthetics. There's nothing really new about this DualSense controller. It's just aesthetics, I'd say. But I love it. It's my first ever limited edition controller, so I'm very happy with that.
Wow. All right. First ever. Let's go.
Very nice.
Yeah. And the other thing I kind of wanted to, I've got all the Astrobot physicals today. The store that I work for has got Astrobot on the front cover of their free Stack magazine that any customer can pick up. Stack magazine. It is the pop culture magazine of JB Hi-Fi, and they actually got the opportunity to speak to Nicholas Doucet, the studio director at the Tokyo base of Team Asobi. Yep. So they've got a little sort of like, they've interviewed them. They've got a whole page set out. If you'd like, I will take a photo of it and put it into the Discord for everybody to read. And it's actually really cool. And it's funny how they've got it next to God of War Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the goats. That's right.
PC.
Another PlayStation pillar.
I think, right? Yeah.
which speaking of God of War Ragnarok, there is one level that I absolutely love in the game. Yeah. That I feel like that is my favorite level in the game.
It was cool. There's they do so the structure of the game. I don't want to spoil much, but there's like I think 5 like worlds basically. Yeah. Each one ends in a boss fight. After that boss fight, you save like an iconic PlayStation character, and then it unlocks a whole level themed on their game. Yeah. And God of War Ragnarok is one of them.
Nice.
Yes.
And it is like. But it's not as simple as just your Astrobot and like it is a God of War. Like there are ravens to find. There are like it is God of War Ragnarok in Astrobot. It rules, and they're all like that.
It is so good. Right. You're also using the axe like Kratos in God of War, which is awesome.
Team Asobi went to work. Team Asobi went to work.
Rules,
all right,
dude. All of them. All those special levels are like that. Yeah,
they did such an awesome job, and I honestly like even the music is like similar to what you would hear in God of War.
It is an Astrobot remix of the Ragnarok theme. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
yeah. Okay.
It's so freaking good.
All right. Yeah.
I love it so much.
Look, finally, something to get her like God of War. I can't believe it.
Hey,
just Astrobot will do all we needed.
If they made a whole God of War game, but Astrobot was the theme, I'd play that in a heartbeat. Easily.
Oh, man. Hey, whatever gets you to play it.
So, look, I bring you the God of War content this week as well, even though it's not the actual God of War.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
It's fine.
I think that's okay. Yeah.
But I'm absolutely loving this game. I've managed to 100% the first 2 worlds. I'm on to the third one. Trying to go through that. Man, some of the side levels, I'm gonna in quotation marks, in I think it was the octopus. That's what is it called? The tentacle.
Yeah.
Something.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The Octopus Galaxy. So there were some side levels in there that were kind of tough. They're a bit challenging to
There
get
are some
through.
challenging levels. Yeah.
Yeah. And those side levels unlock a special PlayStation character. And I think a couple of them, I was raging a little bit, but I'm like, nope, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to get through it. I need to beeline it to the end. Because it's almost like doing it's almost like doing a speed run, but every time I die or I fall off the side of something, and I'm just like, oh, damn it, I need to keep going.
You can do it.
I need this character.
Wish you were streaming this.
Well, I did.
You can do it. There are some tricky ones, but like you can definitely do it. I will say, because I got all of the bots and all of the puzzle pieces. There is a final, like, if anybody's played Mario 3D World, because of course we got to compare Astrobot to Mario. How can we not do that? Yeah. We're talking about Astrobot on the internet. We must compare it to Mario. If you've played it 3D World and like Champions Road in that game, this game does have like a final challenge level, kind of similar to that, where you can unlock one final bot at the end of it. So
okay, yeah. The music in every level is different, and it works, and it's awesome. I feel like I need to find the OST for this game so that I can just listen to it on repeat. It's so good. Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that compared to Playroom, the puzzle pieces, in Playroom, you're literally collecting the puzzle pieces to create murals in the PlayStation Labo. Whereas in this game, there's an actual reason to collect them like proper, and that's to unlock things at your crash site. So you've got like a gachapon, sort of a gacha lab where you collect all your little bits and pieces, including, wearables and paint colors for your DualSense controller rocket. And, there are a couple of other things that I haven't unlocked that I don't know about. So Seth, you probably already know what they are. Sure. But so far I've unlocked the speeder garage and the change room. I haven't unlocked the others yet, but I'm on the road towards it.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff that unlocks. Yeah, and the gachapon's cool because, this game has got 300 bots to rescue, and the majority of them are themed after PlayStation characters, and the gachapon has little items. Each character that is PlayStation themed has an item. So whatever for trying to think of a good example off the top of my head without spoiling anything too cool or interesting. For example, right, like Kratos has a little setting where you can get a gachapon with him where he's got his axe, and then if you go up to him in the hub world and you can hit him, he'll throw his axe at you and then it'll freeze you, but you can move around and get him to, there's a little window of time where you can get him to freeze other characters with it. So there's actually a trophy for hitting Kratos, then running behind Thor and getting him to freeze Thor with the axe.
Okay.
Love it.
So there's little stuff like that. Every character has stuff like that. Yarden points out in the chat, Solid Snake has a little cardboard box, that that he's Psycho Mantis is in the game. And,
man, what?
Oh yes, let's go.
He has a whole TV set up with a PlayStation attached to it that will rumble on the ground.
Really?
The controller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It rules, dude. It rules.
Yeah.
Oh,
a lot
God.
of these. So even though I'm not I haven't played a lot of the exclusive Sony games, there are a lot of characters in this that I'm not recognizing, but that's not deterring me from wanting to find everything and everyone and trying to get their little items and just going up to them and seeing what they do and all that and interacting with them and all that sort of stuff. So I'm still enjoying it no matter what. I think one trophy that I hit, and it was with the prince.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
With his Katamari ball.
Yes. There are a few little trophies like that are once you get the gachapon item for a character and you do something with them, there will be a trophy associated with it. There are a few that. It's really, and there's some deep cut characters too, man. Intelligent Cube and Mr. Mosquito. Deep cut.
Mr. Mosquito. What?
Polygon Man also.
Oh yeah,
oh my goodness.
I'm talking deep cut character.
Wow.
Y'all have seen it's common Parappa and Bloodborne and stuff like that. That's been shown ahead of launch, but they are really if you know PlayStation history and PS1 and throwing it back to there's PSP game characters in here they go for it, man. They really dig deep.
So Sobe today and did the S tier cooking.
Yes.
And the one that I giggled the most at because it was the cutest thing ever was there's a few Last of Us characters in here.
Yes.
One of them is
a golf club.
A fungi.
Fungi. Should have been a golf club.
It should have been a
Golf club.
A little fungi robot. It's supposed to be a clicker, but all you see is he's just got this shirt on with some, I think some slacks or jeans or something.
Yeah.
He's got little toadstool mushrooms sticking out of his head. So it's a family friendly version of
a PG clicker.
Don't want to scare the kids. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no kidding.
We understand.
Yeah, he's a fungi.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, look, I will gush about this until I finish this game and platinum it. It's 100% going to happen.
Oh, so you're going to platinum. Okay.
I'm going to play. This is.
Very nice.
I was already planning on platinuming this before I even got it. So
talking about?
It's a good trophy list. It's a good trophy list. Like I have a few cleanup things to do. I'll probably have it platinumed by tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going to take a little bit more time with it. Yeah. All right. Now you can change your name, Ron. Go on.
Yeah, you can change.
Man, the show's not over. The show's not over. We're not going to jump the gun here.
Give it time.
We still got time. We still got time. That's right.
It is
not going to jump the gun. No.
It is a must play. Like I do. Astrobot is a must play, man. Like it is a total
100%.
must play. The hype around it is real for sure. And it's the kind of thing where like for somebody like me, this is where Ron's gonna start to furrow his brows at me a little bit. I don't vibe with a lot of modern Sony stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm an old school PlayStation fan. Like I came in with PS1. I love PS1, PS2, PSP. I'm a huge Vita fan. But like PS3, PS4, PS5, they started to lose me a little bit, and now that we're on PS5, like I haven't vibed with a new PlayStation game in years, genuinely. Like before now, I would have told you that Astro's Playroom was my favorite PS5 game, and now Astrobot is, just a lot of this stuff doesn't really speak to me anymore, but this game feels like it is a sort of, it's a celebration of PlayStation for like the big 30th anniversary stuff, certainly. A bunch of deep cuts and stuff, but it also feels like a bit of a callback to like, man, like remember when we used to have games like Ape Escape and games like Parappa and Loco Roco and stuff like this. Like, the game sort of says like, hey, we can do this again. Like we can make stuff like this again. There can be both. Like we can have our Spider-Man 2s and our God of Wars and stuff like this, but like we can actually still foster these kind of like creative, fun, like gameplay forward experiences that Sony used to do all the time, and I don't know, like this game feels like a little bit of an intervention to the point where like I'm playing it and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, the story of this game is Astrobot fixing the PS5. Like that's the story of the game.
Oh yeah?
Yep,
you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Literally is.
Okay.
And it's really interesting that this game, I know we're going to talk a lot about Concord later, but this game drops in the same week as Concord, which I think is the sort of the ultimate sort of realization of, man, like we really are fumbling the ball in a lot of ways and spending hundreds of millions of dollars and whatever, 6 to 8 years of development on these unsustainable things, and layoffs are happening and blah, blah, blah. And here's Astrobot, which they made in 3 years with 60 people, and it's the most well-reviewed game of the entire year. You know what I mean? Like, I really hope it sends a message of like, man, we can, like, you should still have your big tentpole blockbuster games, your Last of Us, your God of War and stuff, but like, we can spend a little less money and support things like this and have, this kind of stuff on our brand too, because it used to be a huge pillar of PlayStation. It hasn't been for years, so I don't know. I hope
we can talk about that. We can talk about that because PlayStation, I've noticed it is the same as you. It seems to be after PS3, they kind of, instead of making games for everybody, they started making games for people who grew up with PlayStation. So they're keeping track of all of us, the ones who started young with it, and now that we're older, they're like, well, we're catering to the PlayStation fans that grew up with us. I think it's a mistake because you're right. This right here shows that Asobi sit there and cooked off on Astrobot, and Astrobot is doing well. Right from the jump, there was nothing but 10s and 9s, and mostly 10s that were coming out. So that goes to show that is out there. And those kind of games kind of talk to everybody. It's not just a young crowd. So Sony does need to lean into that a bit more. Their creativity has also changed. Me and Matt have talked a million times about Concrete Genie and how that didn't really get the props that it deserves. Concrete Genie was a great game. And, of course, we all see what happened with that. It didn't sell very well. And, of course, Sony was like, well, let's close the studio down because, you guys, I don't want to say they failed, but it didn't live up to, I guess, what Sony thought it should. And a lot of that falls on gamers' laps, too. They give you the games, and for some odd reason, it gets critical acclaim. People talk about them, but then they don't buy it. So that hurts the studio, and then, of course, that gives Sony the wrong impression because it's like, okay, well, we gave this game a chance, we brought it out, and let them be creative, and nobody bought the game. So it's very hard for Sony to kind of navigate those waters when people aren't supporting the games, when they're giving people a chance. So we'll get more into it with the Concord talk, but I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, man. Yep. Well said. Yeah, I think Concrete Genie is a great example, and like Asobi is like I think one of, if not, it's one of the very few remaining Sony Japan studios.
Yeah.
Studios.
Yep.
You know,
It's really sad.
And it is really sad because like those were the studios that were making stuff like Loco Roco and Patapon and you know and stuff like this, and like those studios were the ones that, you know, Sony was kind of allowing to play a little bit. And I think that, you know, the stuff that they're seeing the best return on their investment in is the big budget stuff. And even when Jim Ryan was in charge and he was like, hey, let's make like 12 live service games all at once. And, you know, if one of them does really well, then it will have been worth it.
Yeah,
and
it was
that
crazy
blew up
talk.
in their face. You know what I mean? Like it blew up in their face. So I don't know. I look at
what happened.
Astrobot as like, yeah, I look at it as like an intervention a little bit. It's like a look, man, like we can do this still. Like this is still here. It is still within us. And like remember when this stuff, like there is so much love for Sony Japan Studios games, for PS1 games, for PS2 games. Like it really does feel like a not only just a trip down memory lane, but like a remember how we used to be. Like remember what we used to be able to accomplish. You know what I mean? And I really hope Astrobot sends a message. And I try to come at it like it makes me sad playing the game, like sadly nostalgic. But I try to keep a little bit of hope because what I hope is that people come out in droves to play Astrobot.
Hopefully
Like
so.
the critical reception and the commercial reception should match. You know, like really send a message. Sony, we want more of this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a good game.
Nicely said.
Yeah,
it's good.
It is an absolutely great, beautiful game. It is so vibrant, so colorful, and I love it. I just love it so much.
Yeah, dude.
PlayStation fans, do the right thing. Buy
Yes.
Astrobot and show
Yes.
Sony that they can still make games like this.
Yep.
That the ball's in y'all court. If y'all don't buy the game, I don't want to hear you whining in a year or two from now because they don't make games like this anymore. So if you don't
Yeah.
support the game and don't sit there and show it love, don't expect them to try to sit there and make games like that. So this is on
Big
y'all.
time. Yep, big time. The final like set piece of the game, and I won't spoil it, of course, but it is if you are like an old school, if you've been with the PlayStation brand for a long time, that final set piece is like it's goosebumps, like it's chills, like it. If you are a PlayStation fan, like you should play it. You should have already played it. You know what I mean? Like it rules.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, 100%. If you're new to the PlayStation ecosystem, you've got a PS5, check out Astro's Playroom first, because that'll give you an idea
there.
of what to expect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's free. I'm about to
Yes,
say
please.
there's no reason
That
not
one
to play
first.
it.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
when free 99 is not a setup. So play
Exactly.
Right.
Play it. It comes with the
100%.
PlayStation. Play it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Astrobot has been such a great welcome to the gaming sphere this past weekend, and I've been loving it so much. I hope that, you know, I hope it does well, though. I really hope it does well.
Yeah,
it already
same.
has been. I just want it to go even further. Because it's such... It's definitely something that everybody can play. It is a whole family kind of a game. So definitely go check it out.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right. That's what we've all been playing. That's all I've been literally playing. I've just been playing
too.
Astrobot.
Nothing wrong with that.
I've been playing anything
Yeah.
else.
Nothing wrong
I'm
with
about to
that.
say nothing wrong with that.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's great. Which is probably why my back hurts.
Been up in that chair playing Astrobot too much.
Yeah, I've been playing Astrobot too
Oh
much.
man.
I need to take breaks. But anyway, that's it for what we've been playing. So now it's time to jump into the topic of the week. And even though we just talked about the awesomeness that was Astrobot, we're going to have to bring it down a little bit.
Let's bring the mood right down. Let's go ahead and
Bring
get
the mood
sad.
down.
Sorry.
It's gonna be all right. We're gonna lift it back up before the end of the show.
all right.
It's gonna be all right.
It'll be all right.
We will. That's right. That's
So
right.
earlier in the week, last week, a couple of days after we had the girls' room edition, with Lockworth and Bowser, who
Dude, the
talked
timing.
wonders about
I know.
Concord.
Yeah, Locke and
2
Bowser
days
cursed
after
it.
we get the news that Concord was going offline. Oh boy. Pour one out, fellas. Pour one out for Concord.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people, Lockworth and Bowser included, who have really enjoyed playing this game, who are very, very sad about this news. And we thought maybe considering the news, I think everybody's been talking about this, so we wanted to also discuss our thoughts and feelings about the shutdown of Concord. So we'll go around the horn. Ron, how you feeling about this news?
Yeah. I didn't see it coming. Like everybody else, I saw the Steam numbers that were being reported for it. I saw about the physical sales on it. And despite that, I was thinking that Sony was going to do the typical thing that most companies do when something's kind of floundering a little bit. They usually give it a year before they finally decide, this isn't going to work. So imagine my surprise when I'm sitting at work and then Antics sends me a thing and he's like, it's over. And I'm
over.
I'm like, what? And I looked at the article right from the PlayStation blog and I'm like, golly, you only gave it like a week and a half? And it's like, it was crazy. And it's one of those things that's unprecedented for Sony because it's kind of like, you spent, and there's no real hard number for it. Right. Everybody keeps saying that it's definitely around the 100 million mark. You spent all these years, $100 million, and you don't give it a chance? And I don't know if maybe the numbers were worse than what we were able to see, because something had to show them that, these numbers are looking bad and it's not going to project into the numbers that we want it to be. Because I can't see how that makes sense where you spend that much money and you do not give it a shot. But at the same time, it's like you got to read the room on this kind of thing. When it comes to live service, there are so many live service games out there that are already demanding people's attention. There's already competitive multiplayer games that are demanding attention, whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's Fortnite, Valorant. Even though people have their problems with Overwatch, it's still, people are still playing it.
Sure.
There are so many options out there. You are going to have to make a game that is going to sit there and appeal to want to make people pull themselves away from the current game that they're already invested in to give it a shot. And right from that state of play when it was first shown, they did not have the first step right. We all saw it. It looked like a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff with that whole trailer they had going. It set a bad tone for it. And then when they showed the gameplay, it looked very by the numbers. There was nothing really impressive about it from that video. It looked very bland. The characters didn't look great. This is a game you guys have had cooking for a long time, and you've put a lot of money into this. This game should not look like this. And it's to the point where somebody at Sony was so impressed with this game that we were like, we're going to buy Firewalk because of this. So now you acquired a studio, and now they have nothing to do because nobody knows what they're going to do with this game. You got some people that are hoping that they convert it to free to play or, do some messing around on the back and bring it back. But I can't see how you can, because at this point, that is a very heavy black cloud over this game. And even if you bring it back, are people going to be willing to give it a chance? So I don't know, man. Sony has really backed themselves into a corner with this. I don't think it's going to come back. Personally, I just can't see how they can at this point. You're going to have to do a lot of reworking to get that game to be interesting to people. And now that you've already pulled it away, and that was another thing too. People didn't have to ask for refunds back. They gave it automatically.
Right. Yeah.
Sony doesn't get down like that. I mean, Sony was battling with people over
never.
Cyberpunk. Yeah, Sony was battling
Exactly.
people over Cyberpunk to the point where Cyberpunk, they yanked it off the store because they got tired of people asking for refunds. You did this on your own. People didn't have to fight with you over this. And it was just an automatic thing. Like, yo, we're taking it off the store. We're giving you your money back. Sorry. What? So, I don't know. I would have loved to have been in the meeting for that to see how that decision came out and how Firewalk feels about it. Because, like I said, they can't be in a good place with this. like I said, you work all your these years on a game, and then it comes out to this reception, and it's just like, and I do feel bad for Locke and Bowser and Kev and John, everybody who played it and had a good time with it, but apparently there was more people who disliked it than people who liked it, and I guess Sony just felt there was just no reason to sit there and continue to waste money and resources and marketing when it wasn't going to work out. I don't know, man. It's bad. It's not ET level crash the market bad, but it's bad. It's bad.
If you've been watching the PlayStation Drive for a while, you would have seen Ron and I and Ryan and Shad react to the reveal of Concord, and we dunked all over it. And you know, the truth is, this wasn't a game for Ron and I, but I can speak on his behalf and mine. It doesn't mean that we wanted to see it crash and burn to this extent. Like we know people put their hearts and souls into developing this game, and we have friends, Bowser and Locklith and Yon32, they're blowing it up in the Discord. They how much fun they're having. Like, people were playing, and it's I think it's very disappointing to see that. Obviously, Sony, I'm assuming they put money first, business first in terms of their decision making. In terms of, I'm not sure what. Maybe they're getting a tax write-off or whatever it is. They're cutting their losses for whatever it is for financial reasons. And I think the bigger picture is like, this is people's heart and souls in terms of putting their, time and effort into creativity, right? The people at Firewalk, they thought this is the best game that they're going to make. Like, they put their hearts and souls into it. Didn't connect with Ron, didn't connect with me, but to them, this is what they wanted to make. And for Sony just to, like Ron said, like a few weeks, like that is such a slap in the face to developers and to all the free gunners out there who were playing. Like, it is like you didn't even give it time. Like, it's just so devastating that the fact that it's blatantly obvious it's like we're prioritizing money over people's enjoyment, people putting their time and effort into this. Like, there was none of that, and it sends a broader message that at the end of the day, I mean, yes, we're smart people. We always know that's always about money, but at the same time, like, we're podcasting about video games because it's one of our favorite hobbies. Like, we get so much enjoyment out of it. So it's really heartbreaking to see that they would just pull it so quickly. And like Ron said, it's not even like a choice. It's like, no, it's gone. Here's your money back. And because of this massive statement, I don't think they're ever going to bring this thing back. And if they did, how would you ever convince anybody to give it another chance? Like, the internet is so toxic already. Like, you don't think people are going to dunk all over it if they're coming back? Like, there's no way. So it's just, again, the game wasn't for me. Most live service games aren't, but like, this is when Ron shared it with me, I was like, this is unheard of. Truly, like, in my opinion, unprecedented. And like I don't want to compare it to like No Man's Sky, but there were opportunities where other games did turn around. Like, no, I'm not saying that Concord was going to come around and become, the biggest thing that everybody's playing, but maybe there could have been opportunities, to try different monetization formats or ways to get player engagement numbers up so that it can turn around a little bit. And, I don't know, give Firewalk the team, like, like some love for what they put, all these years into. Like, it's crushing. Like, and this is coming from somebody who doesn't touch multiplayer games, really had no interest in this game. But even for me, like, I was already devastated by it. So I can only imagine what it's like for people who were playing it. I can only imagine what it's like for the studio. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I can't think of another situation similar. Seth, Fuli, can you think of anything else similar? Like, I can't. Just
one for me. I went through this once before. I feel like I'm like a vet telling a war story. Like, I remember Battleborn, man. I remember. This reminds me of Battleborn a little bit. I don't know if any of y'all played that. That's Xbox 360, I think. I
remember it, but I never played that one.
Yeah, it was a Gearbox game, and it was like a first-person character action MOBA sort of thing. And I actually quite liked it. It was pretty good. Like, it had like a cool like story mode, and like it kind of fed into the multiplayer component, but it had the unfortunate luck of releasing the same day as Overwatch. Literally the same day as Overwatch.
God.
Yeah, bad idea. Jesus.
So it died. I think the servers went off in 5 or 6 months or something like that. And yeah, like Gearbox is hyping it up, especially like it was kind of in the interim between Borderlands 2 and 3. So people were kind of looking for a new thing from Gearbox. Borderlands 2 fans are kind of looking for something to latch onto. And it had like a fan base of people who were into it and passionate about it, but it wasn't enough. And just like with Battleborn, I think that Concord, met indifference more than anything else. It isn't even that like people were hating on the game. There was hate and there was love, certainly too. But I think the vast majority of people just didn't care. Like for me, I'm not trying to beat up the game. I don't like seeing people like dancing on Concord's grave. I don't think that, I don't think that helps literally anything. We're seeing a lot of that online, which I think is unfortunate. But like for me, like I'm with like Ron and Matt, like watching that first trailer, I was like multi-pass, like I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about this. That just looked very generic to me, whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I would hear people like, yeah, Yon32 and Bowser and Locklith and everybody and Riley King, like they're playing it, they're having fun with it. But like they were in rare company. And the alternative to this, right, is that as little as the game sold, I think we were seeing numbers like it sold like 25,000. Like
and that was between Steam and PlayStation. So that's really tough.
Really bad, right?
Yeah.
Not just like a little bit of a failure, like a massive, massive, massive failure. So the alternative to this, right, is that they do keep the servers on for whatever, 6 months a year. And how long is it until you can't even find a game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get on Master Chief Collection like once a week and try to play some Halo 2 multiplayer, and it takes me sometimes like an hour to find like a game on Master Chief Collection. That's Halo. Like that's, you know what I mean? So like I'm just like flash forward this to 3 months from now, and is anybody even still playing it anymore? Yeah. It like in the best case scenario.
Yeah,
you know
I mean that's a good call because some people were actually already having problems with that. I know Kevin and them said they didn't really have any issues, but there were a lot of people that were reporting having a hard time finding somebody to play with. So
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, at what point do you just kind of take the L and you say like, it didn't connect? And it is what it is, man. And like we mentioned earlier, like Jim Ryan shuttered a bunch of live service games, and this is just another notch in the bedpost, I think, for them. You know what I mean? And it sucks. Like it's sad because those people did work so hard on the game, and unlike a lot of those other games, it got to the finish line. It got released. But here we are, and it is unprecedented, and that's something that people need to keep in mind too before they start dogpiling on it. But like it probably should have never come out. You know what I mean? Like once that kind of tepid reception happened, they should have probably went back to the drawing board. But the problem with that is that means more money. That means more investment into restructuring it. Even if they did say, hey, let's turn it into a free-to-play thing, well, that takes money too. That takes effort and resources. And like, I don't think, I mean, like, again, it's sad. And like, I hate to say it like that, but like, like Concord just isn't worth that effort in their eyes,
As
so
far as we know, maybe behind the scenes, that's what it brings us to the point what you said is that it was so far gone that maybe by the time they did see the response from the state of play, they were like, yeah, I guess we could cut our losses, but we've already dumped all this money into it. The game is finished. Let's just put it out there and see how it goes. And I guess when they saw that response, I guess they were like, you know what?
Well,
yeah, it's not worth the time to keep pumping money into this.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess in one stance is good. They gave it a chance. But now here we are. And like you said, everybody's dunking on it. You got some people cheering like, oh, we told Jim that, live service wasn't the way to go. And I don't know, man. It's just weird. And now we still have Haven Studios and Fair Games. What's going to happen with that? It's a different game. Yeah. But at the same time, if I was them, I'd be a little worried. Like, you know what? Maybe PlayStation consoles aren't meant for this kind of game. So what are we going to do? Because if Fair Games comes out and it gets the same kind of response, it's going to be something that Sony's going to have to address because we don't know how many more games they are still working on. Yeah, they cut them down from what they initially were when Jim was like, let's do 25 games or whatever. Bungie still has Marathon, which Bungie itself is in a mess. Marathon is rumored to be in complete disarray. So I don't know. The live service stuff just does not seem to be working out right now, and there's a lot to worry about. Concord has put a lot of worry on that plate.
Bro, when you got The Last of Us is Sony's, I mean, I would argue probably their most valuable IP right now is The Last of Us, right? Between the TV show, the games. when they're working on a multiplayer live service game and they say, hey, you know what? Let's just not.
Yeah.
Like if The Last of Us can't do it, what makes you think Concord can? You know what I mean?
You bring up a good point.
Like it's just not, it just wasn't going to happen. It's just one of those things, and it's sad. Like it's unfortunate, but like again, like I think The Last of Us probably had the best shot out of all of these, and that didn't make it to the finish line.
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to hang it up at a certain.
And they
point.
also let Bungie kind of talk them out of that. Bungie was like, "Oh, we don't know if this is going to be good or not." It's like now you see everything that Bungie has going off, and it's kind of like, "Well, you guys really the right ones to be talking
you don't
about
really know
something
what you're
wasn't
talking
going
about
to work."
either.
Yeah.
Hang on a
So
minute.
it's kind of like shit. You guys have really been giving some kind of advice on what's good and what's not. Like, but like I said, you brought up a good point. Naughty Dog was just like, you know what, this isn't working out. Single player narrative is our game. We're going to stick with that and just leave that multiplayer stuff to everybody else. And it's starting to look like it probably was the good news. It's a shame that they had already dumped so much money and time, and they had moved so many people from the team that were working on another game to this. But at least they were able to pivot and say, you know what, this is not working out, and this just isn't for us. And they made that choice. But now it's like, well, what is Firewalk going to do? You certainly can't dissolve them into another team. You're already doing that with Bungie, where you're taking people off and dissolving them into another studio, and who knows what the hell's going to happen with Bungie. So you really can't, with all that that's going on, you can't really break Firewalk down right now. So it's like, are you going to give them a shot at another multiplayer game? Is it going to be competitive, cooperative? You're going to give them a shot at a single player game? So now Firewalk, you have to make that acquisition work. You bought them, so you got to do something with them. You certainly just can't can them out of the blue. But I would not want him his job right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, it's a mess, dude. Nobody here played Concord, right? Did you play it for you? Yeah,
I have
didn't
not
think
played
so.
it. No,
Yeah, it's
but it is a bit of a shame.
It is. Well, it sounds like it played well. Like the people that I know that played it are like, well, this feels good. Like this, like the actual gameplay of the game is good. So I don't know. Like maybe there's a reality where they can take Firewalk and take that engine and use it on something else. So it's not a complete loss. You know, like if I were Sony, I would try to to get those people working on something that people can kind of latch on to a little bit better. And I wonder if a little bit of brand recognition would help them right now. Like I wonder if they could, do something and say like, if we made this like something that was attached to something like Killzone or Resistance or whatever.
I was about to say Resistance. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Like, would that give it a little more stickiness? Would that get people through the door? Because it sounds like the people that did play it enjoyed it. So yeah.
I mean, come on, Lockliff was crazy for that. I remember when the beta started.
She blocked off her whole weekend for it.
Yeah, she sent she sent me a DM, super excited about it, and I was just kind of like, "What's going on here?" Because this isn't the Lockliff that I'm used to. I'm used to cozy Lockliff, playing the farm games and doing that kind of stuff. When she was telling me about this, I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
And she stayed with it even after the beta. She was just like, I think I'm going to pre-order this, and I'm just like, damn. Well, maybe I was wrong about this game, and then. Like I said, they started playing it, and everybody was positive on it. And even from when the beta came out, there was quite a few people who I saw that from people I follow on Twitter that their opinions kind of changed on it, and they were like, you know what, the state of play wasn't good, but this game is actually a good game. But like you said, it's just unfortunate that apparently they just were in the minority on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is sad. I also like. Hearing that, the people that really enjoyed it are now really upset that they've, pulled the plug on this game. I kind of wish that they maybe left it for a little bit longer so that people could at least enjoy it a little bit more. But the fact that they were, like, Sony was so scared about keeping it there. They're like, no, we have to pull the plug now. We've got another game coming out this week. We need to... save ourselves from any more humiliation, I suppose.
And it may have been Astrobot's fault, maybe. I mean, they knew Astrobot was coming. They were like, shit, nobody's playing this now already. If Astrobot comes out, what's going to happen? Yeah, what's going to happen with the PlayStation base? If nobody's playing now, Astrobot comes out, what happens there? So it's like...
Divert attention, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate about timing as well, considering the fact that it only released like a couple of weeks before Astrobot as well, and knowing that Astrobot was going to be one of their biggest releases of the year. I kind of wish that they maybe held off on releasing Concord to maybe a little bit later, and then, you know, just working on it a little bit more, because that way, you know, people will have time with, you know, Astrobot and play that, and then if they had have released it a little bit later, then Concord might have gotten a little bit better in terms of numbers. But I don't know. I could have been wrong.
I don't think they had a choice really, because when you think about it, they got Astrobot this week. We have Assassin's Creed Shadows that's coming out. That's going to be big, no matter how many Ubisoft haters want to come out and say it's not. That's going to be a big one. We have Call of Duty. We already know what Call of Duty does. I mean, that's just a money printing machine, and people devote themselves to that. So I just don't think there was a chance for the rest of the year for them to land at anywhere it was going to be safe for that fan base. And that's the bad thing about it. I don't know if they could have survived this year. So I don't think it had a chance, no matter where we put it at this year. Maybe they could have pushed it to 2025, but...
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like if they, after the reception they got from the trailer being, you know, released to the world, and they maybe if they held off until next year, maybe they would have had a better chance. But... you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. So we do have some comments from the carpool that I will also read out for you guys in regards to the Concord shutdown. The captain chimes in and says, I'm gutted about Concord. It was the first online multiplayer I had committed to since the OG Modern Warfare 3. I had one session, went on holiday, and it was down by the time I got back. I feel so bad for the captain.
Yeah, man. Sucks. Cap didn't have a chance to really get in there. Yeah. And that's the bad thing about it. They didn't give nobody a chance. It's like, damn, you at least could have waited like a few months. I mean, you already got it out there. Just
R.I.P. to those people that were going for that platinum, dude. The last few days turned into people who were just like killing their characters to get the platinum.
Yeah, the stories that you were hearing about people trying to get the plat. So that, you know, that's going to be one of the rarest plats ever. Golly, there was one guy I saw. I can't remember what Discord I'm in that I saw where he was 2 trophies away from it. And before the server shut down, I felt so bad for him because I was like, "There's nothing you can do. You got close, and now that's it. You can't platinum. It's over."
It's so unfortunate.
It is. Yeah, I felt bad for Cap when I read that. I was like, "Oh man,
sorry, Captain."
Yeah, so sorry for you, Captain. Hopefully, you'll find something that will maybe take over that itch for first-person shooters.
Try out some of these other ones. The thing is, there's a lot of them. Like you know,
you ain't lying.
Try out some of this stuff.
There's plenty of other ones to get out. Apex Legends is out there. Valorant's out there. All the other ones, Fortnite. I mean, if you were looking for that, you should be able to find something to scratch that itch for you.
Yeah, apparently the finals is also another thing too. So
I've heard about that one, but I don't know. I don't know too much about it.
We'll jump into some carpool questions now. Still in regards to the Concord shutdown. Final Fantasy VIII is love. Final Fantasy VIII is... I'm reading it backwards. Love and life. It's awesome, Dave.
Okay.
All right. We all
awesome,
know.
Dave.
We all know it's Dave.
Who it is.
We all know it's Dave.
Good. It's life is love. We know that.
Yeah. He loves Final Fantasy VIII.
We know.
But his question's got nothing to do with that.
Which shocked the hell out of me.
And he asks, with the unfortunate demise of Concord, do any of you foresee the game returning in any capacity? I feel like everybody's already mentioned this.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Doesn't look like it.
Sorry, Fred. It's not coming back. Nope.
Next question comes in from Solo. I never played Concord at any point. I didn't want it to fail, considering it took so long to develop. Although reading feedback online does seem that after years of development, there would have been more of a way they would have set themselves aside from Destiny having a baby with Overwatch. Interested in thoughts?
I don't see what they could have really... I mean, okay, so considering how the game looked, maybe the $40 price point did not help it. Because you got a lot of games that are free to play that look far better, gameplay-wise, character-wise, and maybe that was the biggest thing. Maybe people sit there and saw, like, you know what, this game is $40 and looks very basic. I don't want to say ugly, but it was not an attractive-looking game, that's for sure, compared to its competitors. And maybe that $40 price point is what did it in. But it's hard to say because, like I said, we don't know what Sony was seeing on their side. I mean, we can only talk about what the rumor guys were talking about, and we saw the numbers for ourselves, and the numbers were not good. You know, you're fresh out the gate, and you're only pushing 400 plus on Steam for a brand new game that just touched down. That's not good. You know, so I don't know. I guess the writing was just on the wall for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm thinking about this, and again, I never played it, but I'm like, the point of difference for this when they showed it the state of play was just like you get a cutscene every week, like every week you get like a new cutscene, like that was the big new like thing with Concord. I don't know, maybe that was cool. I didn't play the game, maybe that cooked. I don't know, but like on paper, I was like that's it, like that's what makes this game different. Aside. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like you got to do more than that. You know, I feel like there's got to be another point of difference than that. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. I'm not a game designer. You know what I mean? But for me, you have to come out. If you're gonna enter the space, like you do have to come out swinging a little bit harder than something. Than a lot of people look at this and it. Like I saw a lot of people commenting like, this looks like I got an AI to watch 100 hours of, hero shooters, and this is what it made. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So you do that. You gotta come out swinging, and it just kind of didn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but hey. Alrighty, we're going into some other carpool questions. So let's jump into the first one from Cwaggy. It is I, the Cwaggy, king of the Xenobabes. F's in the chat for our favorite grape. Apparently not Ron's.
I like Concord grapes, but they're not my favorite.
I didn't even know there was even such a thing.
Yeah. I was shocked by that.
I don't know names by grapes. I just know that they're grapes in different colors.
Cotton candy grapes. We got to do cotton candy grapes, man.
Yeah. And he's right. He's not lying.
They're awesome.
Yeah. They're fantastic.
Oh, there's even. Wait, what? They're actually a thing?
They're real.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here in America, Fulia, we genetically engineer our grapes.
That's right. And it's fantastic. I mean, it might kill us. It might kill us a lot faster.
Candy, dude. You're just like it's like candy. Like it rules.
Great. It's great.
I need to find these.
John's right. S tier grapes.
Might have to look into these. So his question is, what is a multiplayer or live service game you're sad died or is dying? Mine is H1Z1 by far. I know it always had its issues, but it was always my favorite battle royale game. What is H1Z1?
H1Z1, I think it's a zombie game.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember it. Don't know too much about it, but I do remember that one. But I've never played any battle royale stuff. The only live service stuff I've ever really gotten into was me and my friends enjoyed Destiny quite a bit. Destiny 1. Yeah. When it first came out, it wasn't exactly what we thought it was going to be. But once that, I think it was the Witch King expansion hit. That changed everything. Yeah, we started playing the hell out of that after that. But aside from that, I've never really got into that. Aside, the original Modern Warfare stuff that I enjoyed playing multiplayer on. But, I play the co-op multiplayer these days. I don't get into the competitive stuff.
I'm with you. Yeah, same. I don't really play a lot of battle royale stuff. It's just never my vibe. Like I've tried a bunch of them, but it's just it just didn't hit for me.
Yeah. No, thank you. I don't feel like getting killed by an 8-year-old, that's been on the game all day when he should be doing homework. That's not, no thanks.
That's my nephews, by the way. I go over to visit my family. My nephews just on Fortnite.
Some of those kids are ridiculously good at that, and I'm just like, no, thank you. I don't want to get roasted by a kid.
No. My nephew's 7. He's like a Fortnite god. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
No, I don't want that happening. No thanks.
What about you, Matt?
You know what? I'm sad that Factions 2 died before it even had a chance. I'm legit
Factions.
Sad about that because I don't play multiplayer games. I love The Last of Us, enjoyed Factions, and Factions 2 when they announced it, and I'm like fantasizing about The Last of Us Part 2 combat online. I was like, yes, just give it to me. Devastating that one died before it
Sorry,
before
man.
I was even born.
Bungie said it was not good. They said it was not good.
Blame Bungie.
Is Bungie
Can't
the
trust
one
them. I don't know if we can trust them or not. Maybe
I
they
don't
won
know.
marathon competition. Who knows? But
Right, so we're on the
Maybe
same.
that was it.
We all bleed blue now. Come on, we're not competition anymore.
I don't know about that. Bungie's got some stuff going on.
Thanks.
Can't really trust
thanks
them.
a lot, Bungie. Yeah, thanks
Jim?
a lot.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Maybe you shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
man. Well, one multiplayer game that I'm sad that died, unfortunately, is a game called Disney Universe. I don't know if any of you have heard of this.
Oh no.
Any of you
Universe.
have seen this. It is this game right here.
Okay.
There you get
Looks
to
very
play
cute.
with multiple players. Your little characters dress up in costumes. So you're cosplaying as Disney characters, Disney Pixar characters. And essentially, you just sort of it's a multiplayer platformer game, and it is so cute. And I absolutely love this game.
This
There's
released?
so much like little mischief. This released back in the PS3, Xbox 360
Oh,
times.
I did not
I don't
remember
Yeah.
remember this
Wow.
at all.
I played this with friends. It was so much fun.
What?
This was so
See,
good.
This is when we need Ryan here, because Ryan would be like, he could give us a whole breakdown of this game and
Yep, Ryan
what
would say
happened
like,
to
"Yep,
us.
One
this is what the
bit.
development
Thank
was." Yep.
you, JB.
True.
He
JB
remembers.
Oh, JB,
knows.
all right.
All right.
This is. I
Very
thought this
nice.
was like
It was-
a canceled game or something. Wow.
Me too. Yeah.
It released.
It's such a cute
Very nice.
game. And yeah, it did have its challenges as well, which, there were a little bit challenging sort of levels throughout the game. But it was a Disney-based game, and I loved it so much. And I kind of wish it was still a thing. It's still on the PS3 store page. Like, it's still there.
Oh,
You
so
can
they
buy
didn't
it if you
Concord
wanted
that one.
to.
So apparently some people still play it.
The
Wow.
thing is, though, even though you can buy the game, unfortunately the servers are down.
down.
So you won't
Okay.
be able to play it
Yeah.
because it's an online multiplayer. You can't play it with anyone else.
So wait a
even
minute. Are
you can't play it
trophies
solo.
on this game?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into
I was
it.
about to say, 'cause if the trophies are locked behind some server stuff, that would totally suck.
Yeah.
I think
that would
I think it might.
Oh, wow.
Considering that you can't really play this by yourself, you need to have
Oh,
friends.
yeah.
At least
there's no
one
reason
friend.
to even have it on the store then. Sony's just like,
Yeah.
we'll have somebody sucker themselves into buying this, and they're like, psych. You
Well,
can't play this.
apparently, Ryan's only learning about this game right now. So
Wow.
Oh, well.
You just blew Ryan's mind. That's saying a lot.
A lot of
game
unprecedented
that
stuff
I know
tonight.
that nobody
Yeah,
else
I'm about to
does.
say. I rely on Ryan. If I don't know a game, usually Ryan can
Ryan
help
doesn't
me
know
out.
what this game is.
Woo.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Yes, I got one.
yeah,
pulled
you
out the
fooled
deep
all of
cut.
us.
you
Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Fool you.
vaporware. I thought it was one of those things.
I
That
thought
just
so
never
too.
came out.
I thought so too. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's a trailer for a canceled game. But nope, it came out and
Nope.
I totally missed
Came
it.
out.
Wow.
It was definitely a thing.
Way to go, Koala.
Yeah. So that's mine that I wish would come back. I kind of wish it came back. Kiku comes in with her question. Do you have a game that was never released in your country that you wish would be available someday? For me, I would love to have the Suikoden
Suikoden.
games.
Yeah.
Okay, Suikoden. All right. And Valkyria Chronicles 3. What about you guys?
I'll side with her on the Suikoden games. I love that series, just like she does. So apparently there's some games that came out in Japan only. I'll take Suikoden games all day. So I'll side with that.
What about you, Matt?
I mean, technically, there's a U.S. version of it, but so the Nier game for PS3, the North American version has Papa Nier, whereas the Japanese version has Brother Nier, and I've talked about this before. Having Papa Nier in the game is kind of weird because he does have a romantic relationship with a much younger female, in my opinion. It just seems very off.
Wow. He was 90 years old.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know about it's just very off-putting. Let's put it that way. Because in the remake you do play as Brother Nier, but you know what? I wouldn't mind playing the OG with Brother Nier, but unfortunately that one is only locked to the Japanese version.
That's fine.
That's the only one I can
That's
think of.
fine. That's okay. Leave it over there.
No,
can have
there's people like me who want the OGs, remasters, remakes,
Keep
the ports.
near where it's
Give
supposed
me
to
all
be.
of them.
If it can't be in a trash can, keep it over there locked away in another country.
In
That's fine.
Japan, Stop it. That's the only one I can think of. Yeah, not too many locked games that I can't get access to.
Seth, you got any ideas?
Yeah, there's a lot of examples of this when it comes to Nintendo. Like anybody else, I would love a localization of Mother 3 and stuff like this. But when it comes to PlayStation, the big one for me is Boku no Natsuyasumi, which is a PS1 and PS2 game series. The debut series from Kazuyabe, who made like Attack of the Friday Monsters, the new Shin-Chan games. Those games were kind of like the precursor to everything he's basically ever done. And they're like kind of cult classics, and they're fan translations online and stuff like this, but an official like re-release of those games with an official localization would be really cool. So always wanted to play them. There is a Boku no Natsuyasumi bot, an Astrobot, which is a very cool like deep cut thing. And yeah, that made me happy. So I've always wanted to play those games. So.
I don't know how you didn't get tongue-tied over that name. That alone was amazing to me.
I'm a big fan of, there's a YouTube channel called Action Button. Tim Rogers, who he's been a writer in the video game space for a long time. He used to write for Kotaku and stuff. He does this series called Action Button where he does these like in-depth, he has a video about Boku no Natsuyasumi that is 6 hours long.
Good Lord mercy. That's how the trail stuff.
Oh my.
Oh.
Yeah. You watch it in chunks, you don't watch it all in one sitting, but it's like a beautiful, like in-depth video essay. Like I cried multiple times watching it, and it gave me such an appreciation for that series. I would just love to play it. So
I actually enjoy watching stuff like that.
It rules. All of his videos are really, really good and high quality. So yeah, Action Button. Check out Action Button, folks.
I don't really have anything in mind. However, one game that does stick out to me, and it's not something that I wanted to play, but it's a game that I heard a lot of buzz about, and it was South Park: The Stick of Truth. Now,
yes.
It did.
Yes.
It did kind of get to Australian shores, but unfortunately, they changed some stuff in the game.
Oh, they censored it. Oh, come on, Australia. Whoa.
Yeah. So a version was released replacing the censored the sexual violence involving minors scenes.
What is going on here?
They
Australia trips
censored
me out.
those.
What?
And they replaced it with apparently a card of a koala crying humorously, explaining what has been cut.
Oh my.
So there is something there saying, so there is something missing here, but you're not going to see it, essentially.
That scene is pretty rough, to be fair.
It is awkward as hell.
Okay.
In Australia's defense, it is very awkward. It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's just like, come on, Australia. Just like, really?
A lot of gamers were very upset when we weren't going to be getting the actual version of that game and that we were going to get a Australian rated version. Mind you, it's still R-rated here, 18 plus.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, you can't take the R rating.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
out
there's no way. You would have to just go ahead and cut that whole game to get that rating down.
Yeah. I remember I was talking to Drew Agnew before, and somehow or another Hotline Miami came up, and he goes, fun fact, I've never played it because it never released in Australia. Or like, I guess
Wow, what?
Really?
Yeah, I guess
Seriously?
No, Hotline Miami is brutal shit.
it's gory. Yeah, it is gory.
Yeah.
So I guess they released it, and then within like 24 hours they pulled it.
Oh.
And
Wow.
yeah, I guess Hotline Miami is not a thing in Australia, which is
The only thing
wild.
that's going to be killing them in Australia is the spiders. But nothing else can.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
Drop bears, man.
Yeah, perfectly fine for
I'm
the ocean.
only
The ocean
drop
life
bear
can kill
you're gonna
people.
have to worry about.
Ocean life spiders, they can kill people. Not Hotline Miami. No, thank you.
Oh boy. All right, moving on. The captain also chimes in with a question. It's going to be a bit of a journey here, so
Yeah, that's
strap in.
fun. That's how the captain
Here we
gets
go.
down. Bring it on.
You have one shot, one opportunity. No, you're not Slim Shady. You get a call from PlayStation. Herman needs to see you in his office ASAP.
Herman, yeah.
You put on your best suit. and you comb your hair. Sorry, Ron. Then
Hey, I love being
straight
old.
there.
I'm good.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You are standing in front of him, and he tells you that you are the only one that can save PlayStation, and he needs your help with a 5-year plan. What do you want to see from PlayStation over the next 5 years?
About time, Herman, that you're asking a Xenobabe to help you fix
Oh,
PlayStation.
God.
About damn time. Let me help
Here
you,
we go.
Herman.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
You're welcome. Here you go, friends. Honestly, it's what we've been talking about this whole episode. Like, I cannot. Like, I'll be devastated if there's only one game from Naughty Dog on the PlayStation 5. And to be quite honest, I'm not even confident there will be one at this
Same.
point. I'm not even confident, right? And I know God of War Ragnarok came up, but again, the idea that there's only one game from them, Sucker Punch, when they drop Ghost of Tsushima 2, is that the only game that they're going to be dropping for this generation? Like, I love it. Like, I love these big, massive narrative experiences, but I cannot wait every 10 years just to get another game from a studio that I love. Like, if you need to make the graphics less impressive, if you need to make the game shorter so that I can get more and different experiences from the studios, I'm all for it. Like, I really don't like the idea of $200 million, 10-year development cycle for one game that, is 20, 30 hours. Like, I just, like, how many Naughty Dog games were there on PS3?
We got the
Last of
whole
Us?
Uncharted 1, 2, 3.
2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
Last of Us 1.
4 games.
Yep,
Four
Last
games
of
from
Us
Naughty
1.
Dog.
Yeah.
4 games. 4 games from them on one generation. And we're looking at, I'm serious, I think there might be 0 from Naughty Dog on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, PS5.
Like, that is...
Outside of remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I
But
like
that's
them,
most
but
of the
still,
first
like,
PlayStation
what I mean?
studios, though, when you think about it.
Yeah. And
Outside
I
of
think that
Insomniac.
model... Yeah, Insomniac is like the outlier. Everybody else, like, this if this is the way the industry is going, like, it's unsustainable. And it's not good it's not healthy for developers. It's not something that the community wants either. So, Herman, give more money to studios like Japan Studio, so we can make more Astrobot games like Concrete Genie. Tell Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studios, like, listen, you're not getting 300 million to make this massive experience. Just here's less money, make smaller experiences. Don't burn yourselves out and take some creative chances, right? We don't need always sequels and remasters. Like, do something you're excited about. Like, bring back the Sony magic that Seth and Fully were talking about, that they saw in Astrobot, that they were celebrating things from 30 years ago. Like, we need stuff like that back. That's all you need to do, Herman. It's that simple. You're welcome. But you can still call me anytime. Xenobabes, my DMs are open, all right? But you're
Isn't
welcome.
that simple, though?
It's that simple.
Because once again, we come down to a thing where Concrete Genie released and nobody but us bought it. So it's like...
Just me and you, Ron.
Yeah, but...
I know.
Hey, I got it too.
Just me and you.
Yeah, so I don't think
Good,
it's that
yeah,
simple.
3 of us.
I don't think it's that simple because, like I said, yeah, you can bring all those creative games back that they missed out on from back in the day, but it's like, if nobody buys them, what's the point? So it's kind of what Seth said earlier when he was talking about the tentpole games is what everybody gravitates to.
Yeah.
You can give them the nice creative titles that are smaller. The games are great. We know that. But then when you look at the sales and you're just kind of like, why is nobody buying this? And it's just, so you kind of, once again, it's like you go to that meeting with Herman, you're like, okay, well, Herman, tell me what you're looking for in these 5 years. Are you looking for profit? Or are you looking for the quantity of games that are good? Because he's going to have to sit there and tell us what he wants out of that. And we already know that the CEO is going to want money. So it's like, okay, well, now if you're going to talk about money, then yeah, we do need to find out, okay, what are we doing with Ghost 2? Is it going to be a PS5/PS6 game? Is it going to drop before, all this comes to an end? Same thing with Naughty Dog. What are they working on? Rumors were there was a sci-fi game, then everybody got moved over to doing factions, and then factions got closed down, and now nobody knows what they're up to. I would love for them maybe to sit there and give a Lost Legacy 2. That would be great. But once again, where's Naughty Dog? Where's all their resources going to? Blue Point, still working on something mysterious. Yeah, there's been concept art that has leaked out, but once again, nobody knows. So Herman would have to open up the book and let us know of everything that's going on behind the scenes for us to be able to say, okay, this is the 5-year plan. Let's pick this, this, and this, and this. I would love to have a Ratchet and Clank game. That would be great because I don't want Insomniac to become the Marvel Spider-Man / Wolverine studio.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. The Spider-Man games have been great. I love them. But I don't want them to get into the mold of just doing that. Insomniac has already done enough for the PS5 as it is. Let them do it a Ratchet and Clank game or do anything else that they're interested in. That's not Sunset Overdrive 2. Please, no thank you. Multipass. But
Damn.
Let Insomniac do something else besides just becoming the Spider-Man and Marvel machine. I don't know, man. I would like to know what Returnal's team is up to. Word is that they're moving away from the bullet hell thing and trying something different. I'm all for that. The bullet hell and the roguelike stuff was the only thing that kept me away from Returnal. I love the look of it. I loved watching the gameplay of it. Those guys, I would love to see what they could do with something different. So that would be nice. Returnal did pretty good for them to the point where they were like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and have you guys, hang out with PlayStation and do some stuff over here. It's hard to say. Like I said, Santa Monica, Cory Barlog apparently is working on something new. Don't know if it's going to make it out before the PS5 is done, but it would be nice to know. So I don't know. It's hard to make a 5-year plan when we don't even know what in the world's coming out next year or the year after that. So I have hopes of what I would love to have, and I've named those off, but outside of that, I don't know. Jack and Daxter is something I don't think we'll ever get back to.
It's not coming back. It's not
Yeah,
coming back.
outside of that first one, I wasn't really a big fan of that anyway. Sly Cooper, I would love to come back, but who do you have do it? Everybody's working on something. So I guess maybe Firewall could do it, but we don't know if Firewall can...
And they brought Sly back and nobody bought it.
Yeah, and good point, Steph. That goes back to what we talked about earlier. Everybody is talking about, we love Sly Cooper. Why don't you have Sly out? But it's like,
You didn't come out for
okay,
it.
well, that Sly Cooper game was really good. And once again, nobody bought it. So you can't cry about Sony leaving things in the past when you're not going out and buying it. So it's like, what do you want them to do? You're only buying the God of War sequels. You're only buying, all the stuff that they've done before. Last of Us 4, remaked 8 times, and people are going out and buying it. Matt?
Part of the problem. I know it.
Well, but like, go ahead.
It speaks for itself. Yeah, I mean, when the numbers come back and you see everybody's buying, it's just like, well, why should we bother making something new? And when, they're perfectly fine doing this. So it's a slippery slope. You can't ask for new stuff if you're willing to buy the stuff that's been done over and over again. It's weird. Once again, I would not want Herman's job.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it's the kind of thing too, like, because you're right. I mean, the reason they're remaking, Last of Us and stuff is because it's like a pretty cheap and easy thing to put out, and it's a good return on the investment. Why wouldn't you do it? And people were like, there are all these rumors, and maybe they'll still happen. I don't know, that they're going to do the same thing with like God of War 1 and Horizon 1 and stuff like that. Well, dude, like, if it works, it works, and you kind of can't blame them for doing that, especially now. And the thing is like, Sony's pretty forthcoming about how long their development cycles take. Like, I think just recently they were like, Astrobot's the last big thing for a while. Like, it's just kind of, like, that's what it is.
They don't shy away from it. They'll sit there and tell you, hey, look, our games are taking 3 to 5 years,
open.
and it's taking $300-400 million. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to wait. All right, thanks for letting us know. So they don't give us false hope. Even though we make false hope for ourselves every time I stay with Plagueis. And I was like, this is it, guys. It's like...
Yeah, well, look, it's like they're going to lean on third-party stuff because that's what they kind of have to do. Their games take a long time and a lot of money to make, and they're open and honest about that. But the problem with that is I think they have fostered this thing within their community of like, there's no middle ground. And I think that if you look at the 2 big successes for Sony this year, it's Astrobot and it's Helldivers 2. And Helldivers 2 is another one that did not cost $500 million to make, that did not take 8 years to make, that came out and it was like a $40 thing. It's simul-launched on PC as well. And it did really, really well for them. I think it sold like over 12 million units. So, I mean, like, and like there was a little bit of fumbling with the ball of like the launch of that and stuff like that. But overall, the goodwill with Helldivers 2 was like strong. And I'm like, you need more stuff like that in between your big tent poles. Like, if I'm in the room with Herman, I'm like, yeah, dude, like, you need to get these teams like Asobi, you need to foster stuff like that, people who can make something for you in 2 to 3 years with a smaller team and without spending all this money on it. and have that stuff kind of come out at a steady clip between your Ghost of Tsushima 2, your whatever, like your big things, you know, because your audience is always going to want that, but there is a not insignificant amount of people that will come out for other stuff too. And again, Helldivers and Astrobot is a good example of that. So yeah, there's just a balance, and it's very, very difficult. They're in a tough spot for sure. But like there is a balance, and come off it with a live service. Just get rid of it. It's done.
Yeah,
it's dead.
yeah,
Move on.
yeah.
Like it's dead. Like
It's
just
not working
drop
out
that.
for them. It's not working out for them. So they might as well just
Stop
play it to
trying
your
to make
strength.
it happen. It's
Yeah.
never going to happen. All right, let's move on. Right. So, yep.
Yeah. Well, as for me, I just want more platformers. So Herman, make some more.
Well, yeah.
Just
Let's
make another
an Ape
Astrobot
Escape.
gamer.
You know,
Make
let's
another
make
Astrobot
an
game.
Ape Escape, dude. It's in there.
Ape
yeah?
Escape. I've never played Ape Escape, so that'd be really cool. Make a new Ape Escape game. That'd be awesome.
Yep. That's another
and
one,
then-
though. That last Ape Escape did not sell well. And that's why I
No.
told Sony was like, we're just going to tuck this away because apparently nobody cares.
Yeah, you got to show them you care. Like
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta vote with your wallet. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would also say what you did with the PS5 by bringing out Astro's Playroom, the way that it shows off the features of the
Very
DualSense
smart.
controller,
That was
and all
very
that sort of
smart.
stuff.
Yeah.
Do the same thing with the next one. Do that.
Yeah.
If it's not with Astrobot, do it with like maybe I don't know Ratchet and Clank or something. Just showcase
Actually,
the
they claim
console.
for free? Whoa.
For
Calm
free?
your farm.
Showcase that new console.
big.
You don't give Ratchet
with
and
a
Clank away
game.
for free. That ain't happening.
It doesn't have to be-
Herman probably had a heart attack when you said that.
Herman
doesn't
keeled
have
over
to
when you
be-
said
Yeah, he was just like, what?
Listen. It doesn't have to be a massive 12 to 20-hour
Yes.
game. It could be something short.
You want
It
a
could
quest
be
for
like-
booty is what you want.
right. Right.
That's what you want, a quest for booty.
It only needs to be like maybe a 5-hour experience.
Yeah,
Like,
quest
just
for
to
booty was
showcase-
about 5-6 hours. It was a short one. Yeah.
Just showcase what the new console can do, just like you did with Astro's Playroom. That's the reason why you got me excited about the PS5. I was going into this console without even having played any PS4 games at all because I skipped that generation, and I was like, there's a lot of games that I want to try that were from the PS4 times, but had no idea that we were going to get Astro's Playroom with the PS5. So when I connected up my PlayStation and booted it up, and that was the first game that downloaded onto my system, I was like, okay, let me check this out. And I was floored by how good that game
That was a quality game. And it was free.
So good. Yeah, and it was
Another
absolutely
case
free.
of free 99 not being a setup. Just saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's the one thing that I would say that definitely works for them. Like the fact that they did that for the PS5, I would love to see that happen again with the PS6. Just showcase it with a game that actually shows us what this console can do.
They used to do it.
Would be,
They used to do smaller stuff not that long ago. I'm thinking of Infamous First Light, Uncharted: The
Oh,
Lost
yeah.
Legacy. You know what I mean?
Lost Legacy, one of the GOATs.
Lost Legacy is probably my favorite Uncharted game. Straight up,
Yes,
it's
Seth.
probably my favorite Uncharted game, and that's a sort of 10 to 15 hour, I think it was a $30 or $40 game. Like, it's not, a full price thing. It didn't take them forever to make it, and it ruled. Like, it was really,
Who doesn't want to
good.
spend time with Chloe
yeah.
Fraser? I'll let your boy.
Yeah,
Just
it's
saying.
sick. And and they did experiment with this with Ratchet. Like, I remember when what's it called? Like Into the Nexus or whatever. Like that one came out. It was at a budget price, and it was like a little bit of a
another one. It
shorter
was good.
experience, but still good. Like we can. There is a middle. It's not 0 to 100. Like we can go 60 miles an hour sometimes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, moving into a few more questions before we wrap up our show today. Drellesh comes in with his question. My head is still reeling from the Concord news, especially since I was planning to purchase it and play it a bit with the CPG community, as well as being curious about the weekly story development. Question for the drive. What key lessons can Sony learn from Concord's failure to improve future live service game launches? I think we might have sort of touched on it a little bit.
Like Seth said, maybe the live service games thing isn't for PlayStation.
It's not for you.
Yeah, leave that for the guys who know how to make it work, or do smart publishing deals, like what you did with Helldivers. Apparently, you guys saw it. It's like, hey, this looks good. Did a publishing deal with it. Maybe it's not meant for you guys to do internal work and waste a whole bunch of money on stuff when you can slap your publishing name on it and just say, okay, this looks like it's going to be good. At least if it fails, we can say, hey, all we did was publish it. We didn't have nothing to do with it.
Cosign, yes.
Yeah. But it's not working. That the live service thing is not working, so drop that.
I'm so sorry, Robo. They could learn not to make games that Lock and Robo like.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
I mean, look, they came on the show, and then next thing you know, they shut it down. So it's like, please, Lockliff, do not like any of the Uncharted games or anything. Please do not like Ratchet and Clank or any other high.
Oh, don't be like that. Don't think that she's a jinx. Come on.
Lock knows I'm just messing with her.
All right, moving into our next question. Black Wyber comes in. Hope you all have had a well-rested weekend. Welcome, Seth. Seth, are you joining the show to talk about your experience of Ghost of Tsushima and how you roll credits on it in stealth?
No.
Lost a bit.
No. So matter of fact, I love it.
It was just straight to the point. No,
I'm
Love it.
not.
Not messing around.
he knew it. Submit knew what he was doing.
All right, here's his real question, though.
Oh man.
We have a royalty amongst us in the Discord, King Cwaggy. Can each of you recommend a must-play game on the PS5, something that he should play on day one, not if, he buys his very own PS5
I'll take the
console?
very first time. I'll take it right over here.
Go.
He's already loving Horizon. He loves it. Forbidden West. That has to be his next stop. It's not on PC yet, and he might as well just jump into it and get his hands dirty.
Sure.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
choice,
what happens if he gets his PlayStation 5 and then all of a sudden it's released on PC and he's like, I could have waited.
Hey, sometimes that's just the way it goes. He's going to have to decide. Either way, he needs to play Forbidden West. I don't care how he does it.
What do you think, Matt?
I'm gonna go with Miles Morales. I don't know if he's played the Spider-Man games. I can't remember.
Another good
I mean,
one.
I know they're on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
I'm not sure.
$40
a smaller
shorter.
title.
Yep,
Yes.
it is. Miles Morales is great.
Yeah. Plays Miles Morales. It's my favorite of the two Spider-Man games I've played. So if he hasn't played already, play that one.
And it's a good pick.
Seth?
Good stuff. I mean, yeah, like Astro's Playroom. Like, it's there.
100%.
Like, just play that.
Yes.
It's there. It's
Very
a
nice.
couple hours. You can beat it in an afternoon, and Quaggy's a Nintendo fan. Like, you're gonna vibe with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Lots of fun. I'm sure he'll also maybe jump into the Final Fantasy VII sort of side of things.
Oh, I thought you were
If
going to pimp out 16. I thought you would go there.
Oh, you picked
Play
Well,
14.
I would definitely say 16.
Oh, we know.
100%.
We know.
Yeah. Like, no question. 16, 100%.
get familiar
Final
with
Fantasy
Clive
16.
a little bit.
Yeah.
If you like your Xenobabes, you'll like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16.
Well, I'm pretty sure the writing will be better. That's for sure.
Impossible.
That's not going to be hard. Yoshi P's that
No.
dude.
No.
You
Impossible.
went there. I mean, look, man. There's nothing in Xenoblade that is quite as silly as like being like grimdark serious riding on armored chickens. There's nothing quite to that caliber. So,
Oh, wow.
that just is what it is.
Ron's done.
No, I love it with Seth. He just fires back so easily. It's just great.
All right, we got a couple more questions before we wrap up. Croco Kyle comes in with how popular and well received Astrobot is right now. Do you think there's any chance Sony revives some forgotten franchises? I could see younger players being introduced to some of the older mascots and older players being reminded they exist. I think Sony could capitalize off nostalgia, but maybe that's just me being hopeful for a new Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter, etc.
Sly Cooper's the only one I think that has a chance out there. Jack and Daxter's done. I don't see that happening.
I don't see them bringing back anything. I mean, outside of the Easter eggs that are clearly an Astrobot, I have not seen any rumblings from Sony bringing back any of their stuff. I don't know why, but like maybe it's like Ron said, it didn't sell, so they're just moving on. It's sad, but I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, again, you'd have to make it cheaply and you'd have to make it sustainably, and it has to be the kind of thing like if you could have somebody like a Team Asobi, you just have a small team off to the side making a small, like I said, like an Ape Escape or something. They have so much love for Ape Escape.
Yeah,
that team, dude.
Team Asobi could probably do that.
They love it's so clear playing Astrobot. They love Ape Escape.
Oh yeah,
and like that game has got a lot of Ape Escape love in it. I would love to have them do that. But also, I mean, yeah, like there are certain franchises even on the PS3. I'm surprised that Infamous kind of just died on the vine. Like I'm surprised that I obviously Sucker Punch moved on to Ghosts, but like I'm surprised they didn't just give that franchise to somebody else and say like, hey, just keep making Infamous games because those did well. They were good. Yeah. Superheroes are popular. Like I don't know, man. Keep that going. I liked Infamous.
It comes down to who's to do it though. That's always the thing. They have so many studios that are working on stuff, and just like, who could they hand it off to? And you would have to be somebody they could trust. Because I mean, even though Second Son, some people were high on it, a lot of people were not, but it still sold well. But you don't want to just hand that off to anybody. Yeah, you got that's kind of a precious title. So it's like, who do you give it to, and who has time for it right now? So I don't know, man. I would like to see Infamous come back, but then it's like, you got Spider-Man going, so it's like, do you really want to have too many superhero stuff going on? Even though Infamous is a totally different vibe, and I'm with you. Yeah, pull a Call of Duty on it and swap back and forth with the studios. I don't know. I would like to see Infamous come back though. That would be nice, but I don't know if I want to have that over Ghost 2. It's like,
sure, yeah. It wouldn't be. Yeah, I don't think you would have Insomniac. I think this is the kind of thing like you also don't want Naughty Dog to go back to Jak and Daxter.
Yeah,
like
it'll be a waste of their talent now at this point.
Yeah. They moved on. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to happen anymore. But like there are other people that would look. Out there. Totally. Like they're not that studio anymore, right?
Yeah.
So like, but there are. I mean, Crash Bandicoot's a good example. That's a series that came back, and and like they brought that back, and like Toys for Bob did like a good job with it. I feel like there are people out there that could make new entries in these franchises, even though the originators are on to bigger and better things, So that's where I'm at with it.
Cool. I've never played Sly Cooper or Jak and Daxter, so
you'd like them.
Yeah. Sly Cooper, I think especially. Yeah.
I think you'd like Sly.
In that first Jak and Daxter game, I think you would like that.
Okay.
Yeah, Jak 2 and 3, like Jak 2 is like a GTA clone.
Yeah,
like,
kind of.
Jak 2.
Yeah. after that first one, they really just took a hard pivot. It's just like, I guess we saw that dark mood coming in.
Yeah, it gets dark. Like it's kind of weird. I kind of dig it, but it's like a little dark and weird.
Yeah.
But Jak 1, you would probably like Jak 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can't get that. It's on the PSN store, so.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And so is Sly Cooper. That first Sly Cooper is on there too.
Okay. What? Wait. PSN or PlayStation Store, as in on the.
It's on the PlayStation Store. You can look on it. It's on there.
All right, good. Because we don't have PSN here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, and our final question comes in from John32. Do you think Nintendo was taking a shot at Sony with their Mario and Luigi Brothership trailer this week called "Greetings from Concordia"?
I think that's not Nintendo style. I can't see it. Microsoft, yes. I can see Xbox doing it, but not Nintendo. Not them.
Doug Bowser is a savage. You don't know that. He's a savage, okay? You watch out for Dougie B.
But why would Doug do it? Nintendo and Sony aren't even competitors. Why they're not even competitors? Why would they do that?
The timing was funny.
It was funny. It was, but I can't see it.
Oh yeah, I'm just seeing it now. Hold on, I'll bring it up for you all.
It was like an hour after.
It was immediate after. It's like,
here's the deal, though, right? Because I think I said this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said this after the Nintendo Drive. They probably were always going to put out this trailer. They didn't just whip up this trailer. It
didn't just happen.
This happened, right? But like, just as easily as like they chose to release the trailer when they did, they could have also chosen to not release the trailer when they did, right? So like that to me means that maybe is a little bit of a targeted, nature to it. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think it was like that. But I do think that maybe somebody, like an intern or whoever runs their social media, saw the opportunity and maybe just like they saw the jugular and they were like,
what? You're right, Seth. Hold on. Let me call Herman about this.
Call him up.
Nintendo doesn't need Lego Horizons after all.
Go ahead and take it off. That hurt Sony more than it hurt Nintendo. Yeah.
LGB went too far with that trailer. Right.
Yeah.
Shame far. On you, Nintendo. Do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Too soon. Too soon, Nintendo.
Too soon?
Mm-hmm. Too soon.
How dare you? How dare you? You should do better than that.
Come on. Yeah.
Well,
have some class.
What a fun episode that was. That is it, everybody. We've got no more show to show. That was episode 166 of the PlayStation Drive. We thank you very much for joining us. But before we head off, we want to give a huge shout out to our patrons over at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. Starting off with our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown. You can find his music over at linktree/pme.jib. Please go check him out. He creates the music intro for the PlayStation Drive
JB
and the
makes
Xbox
heat.
Drive.
That's all he does, make heat.
Makes them beats, and they're awesome. You can also find Cwagmire, who reminds you that the best babes are Xenobabes.
And he's wrong. And he's wrong.
He's right. Quaggy's right.
And TechMike, who recently joined as an ultimate producer. So thank you very much to our ultimate producers. Our platinum producers, CowboyDangerD, Peje EP, Solo, Smokin Joe, and the Captain, and Tim Paullin. Links to all of our platinum and ultimate producers will be in the show notes. And then moving into our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Drellesh, Emily O'Kelly, Hoppel, John 32, Kia Savoy, Liger Woods 330, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Shane Erickson, the Jiggy Collector, and Tim Aulph.
No, nice. She leaned into it for that. She went full wrestling announcer.
Very nice. Yes.
Good job.
I love it.
Huge thank you to all of our patrons at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. You can also join us. Check out the 7-day free trial at the exclusive tier. There's a plethora of content you can get through. We'd love to see you try. But
make a personal challenge to yourself and listen to everything.
You're not going to get through it in 7 days. Even if you put it on 24/7, buddy, 10 times speed, you're not going to get through it all.
Yeah, you don't need sleep. You don't need sleep. Just go ahead and just skip sleep and listen to everything. Do it.
But if you can't join us over there, you can also just tune in, give us our 5-star reviews or ratings over on your podcast service of choice. We would greatly appreciate that. And that's it. Oh yeah, and don't forget, you can also check out carpoolgaming.com for all of the awesome range of merch, including the PlayStation Drive t-shirt, which is my uniform that I wear here every time. So go check it out, and so many others, including new merch for the campfire episodes, which is a really cute look and design. Bobby at the campfire with his marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
I'm about to say, not shrooms.
No shrooms at this campfire. Booyah.
Damn, man. This is a family-friendly show. How dare you?
Yeah.
Campfire goes that way
insinuate?
sometimes, man. Look,
Campfire doesn't get a little weird, but nobody's on shrooms on the show, okay?
Not
They
yet.
are not. They are not.
We'll find out. One of these days, I might be rolling in there feeling a little funny. You know what I'm saying? Be a very different show.
Sorry, that was a bit of a Freudian slip. Maybe I want. Anyway.
We told you guys we were going to end on a high. We were going to take you low with Concord and bring it back up.
Don't worry.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's go with our plugs. Ron, where can people find you?
Savoy Prime on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Backlogged, True Trophies, and Savoy_Prime on Twitter.
And Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me as Nagachaka in the Carpool Gaming Discord on Twitter and on PSN. I'm back. I'm back on PlayStation. Hook me up.
Everybody,
Send me
don't
a friend
believe that.
request.
He's only there for a backtracker game. Then after that, he's back to Nintendo, Xbox, or wherever. Don't get pump faked. Don't fall for it.
Still counts. Still counts. All right.
Relax,
Still counts.
Max.
Yeah.
And don't forget his Instagram account, Canadian Gun Show. Just want to put that out there. Yes.
Oh, let's go. You need to grab that handle. If you don't have it already, you got to grab that.
I don't want to know what.
Don't
that
keep it a secret.
Instagram
Don't keep it a
page is.
secret. Put it out there, Matt.
Right? That's the OnlyFans link right there. That's what that is.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Anyway,
boy.
Seth, where can people find you, Seth? Anyway,
Find me on Twitter at $2 Hero, on the Nintendo Drive here at Carpool Gaming. And yeah, I guess I've never given out my PSN name. It's Winter Cereal. Like winter, the season, and cereal, the kind you eat. All one word. If you see the Jet Set Radio icon, you'll know it's me. And yeah, that's my PSN. So there you go. Never given that out, I don't
There you
think.
go.
Yay. All right. And you can find me over on X and Instagram at Foolish Fuji. You can also find me over at youtube.com/Foolish Fuji. And of course, my website, foolishfuji.card.co.
Hard, matey.
Card with 2 R's. And you can find all the links to everything and more over there. But you can also find me here on the PlayStation Drive, Carpool Gaming, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, in the Carpool Gaming Discord, Twitch. Make sure to give us a follow on your way out if you haven't already.
Yes.
Twitch.tv
Yep, that's right. That's right.
/Carpool Gaming Live. And big thank you to everybody who has subbed to us already this month for September. And I think that's it.
There we go.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See ya.
Adios, friends.
Bye.
bye.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode of the PlayStation Drive. Now, before you drive off, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all kinds of exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description.